You're about to spend money on things that will destroy your wealth, and you don't even know it yet. I've watched this exact cycle happen 3 times in my career. I watched it in 2000, I watched it in 2008, and I'm watching it happen right now. Most people don't recognize the warning signs until they're already broke. Here's what separates people who build wealth from people who destroy it. They make different buying decisions when everyone else is emotional and unprepared. So let me be direct with you. What you buy in 2026 will determine whether you're ahead in 2030 or playing catch up. This isn't theoretical. This is mechanics. If you're serious about money, actually serious, not just watching videos, subscribe now. This channel is specifically for people who want to think like investors, not like consumers. Everyone else can keep doing what they're doing. Let's start. Thing 1, the brand new EV. You don't actually need the myth. Electric vehicles are the future. Everyone's buying them. They'll hold their value. They're cheaper to own. The reality? EV depreciation is now worse than gas cars. Tesla values have dropped 40% in 2 years. Battery replacement costs $15,000 to $25,000. Insurance is 30% higher. Charging infrastructure is slowing. And here's the part nobody wants to hear: the government subsidies that made these affordable are ending in 2026. You know who's buying EVs right now? People with emotions. You know who's selling them? Smart money. They bought at the hype. They're getting out before the market corrects. You'll buy a vehicle in 2026. Drive it for 3 years, and it'll be worth 50% less than you paid. That's not transportation. That's a wealth transfer to the manufacturer. And you'll tell yourself it was for the environment while your net worth shrinks. Do smart move. Keep your current vehicle. If you absolutely need a car, buy a boring, reliable used sedan. Toyota, Honda. Something with 10 years of reliability data. No technology, no battery risk. The money you don't spend on a depreciating EV, that's the asset you should be building instead. Thing 2, luxury real estate. You can't actually afford the myth. Real estate always goes up. This house will be worth more in 5 years. It's an investment. The reality, it's not an investment. It's consumption wearing a real estate costume. Interest rates are sticky. Mortgage rates will stay elevated through 2006. Property taxes are rising, insurance is rising, maintenance is rising, and here's what kills most people: the market is starting to correct in expensive markets. Miami down 20%, San Francisco down 15%, Los Angeles flat, New York getting slaughtered. You're looking at buying an $800,000 house that costs $8,000 a month to own. For that $8,000, you need to make $120,000 a year just to cover the housing. That's not wealth building. That's financial fragility dressed up as success. Smart money? They're not buying luxury real estate in 2026. They're selling it. They bought at the bottom in 2012. They're taking profits now before rates stay high and prices compress. The consequence: you buy that dream house in 2026. Rates stay at 7% in 2029. It's worth less, costs more, and you're trapped in a mortgage you can't escape without losing money. Meanwhile, the person who waited is buying your panic sale for 30% less. The smart move, if you don't own real estate: rent through 2026. Yes, rent. Preserve capital. Let the market correct. In 2027 or 2028, prices will normalize and you'll have cash to deploy when fear is highest and prices are lowest. That's how wealth is actually built. Thing 3, high-yield savings accounts that are about to collapse the myth. Rates are 4.5% now. Lock that in. It's free money. The reality: those rates exist because the Fed is fighting inflation. The moment inflation stabilizes, and it will in 2026, those rates collapse. The Fed will cut aggressively. You'll go from 4.5% to 1.5% in 12 months. That's not a market shift. That's a trap disguised as security. Everyone's piling into high-yield savings because they don't understand interest rate mechanics. They're treating it like a permanent feature. It's not. It's a temporary accident caused by emergency policy. The real risk: you put $100,000 in a 4.4% account in January 2066. By December, rates dropped to 1.8%. You didn't lose money nominally, but you lost opportunity. You locked yourself into the moment rates were highest. You did the opposite of what smart money does. The consequence: you'll chase the highest yield and enter at exactly the wrong time. You'll compound the mistake by holding cash through a correction when equities are down 30% and you have dry powder. The smart move: keep 3 months of expenses in cash, period. The rest? You should be deploying capital into actual assets: dividend stocks, index funds, bonds with longer duration. Not because rates are going up, because rates are about to collapse and asset prices will adjust. You need to own assets, not cash, when that happens. Thing 4, cryptocurrency that's already priced perfectly the myth. Bitcoin is still early. It'll hit $100. Everyone says crypto is the future. The reality: Bitcoin is already a $2 trillion asset class. It's not early, it's mainstream. Everyone already knows about it. Your barber knows about it, your Uber driver knows about it. That's what late looks like. Here's the pattern nobody wants to admit. Bitcoin rallies when people are emotional and uncertain. Right now it's rallying because people are afraid of inflation and currency debasement. That fear is real, but the price has already reflected that fear. You're not buying fear. You're buying certainty at maximum valuation. The people making money in crypto right now, they got in when nobody wanted it. In 2022, when it was 16,000, everyone was terrified. They're exiting now. They're not buying at all-time highs. They're taking chips off the table. You buy Bitcoin at $65,000 in 2026 because everyone says it's going to 100,000. In 2027, there's a correction. It drops to 40,000. You panic and sell at a loss. Meanwhile, the person who sold at $65,000 is buying again at $40,000 with a 60% gain locked in. The smart move, if you own crypto, understand what you own. If it's more than 5% of your portfolio, you're not investing, you're speculating. If you don't own crypto, don't chase it because you feel left behind. That feeling of missing out is how money gets destroyed. Thing 5. Lifestyle inflation and subscription stacking the myth. I make good money. I can afford a few subscriptions. It's not that much. The reality, the average person now has 15 active subscriptions. At $15, that's $18 each. That's $800 per month. That's $262,600 per year on things you don't actively use. This is the stealth killer of wealth, not one big expense. Hundreds of small ones. Everyone feels insignificant. Combined, they're a financial disaster. But here's the deeper truth: subscriptions are just the visible part. The real problem is lifestyle inflation. Every 10 now they raise, you find 10 now there's in new spending. Every bonus gets absorbed. You never actually get ahead because you're always expanding your expenses to match your income. Smart money does the opposite. They make $300,000 and live like they make $20,000. The gap compounds. That $80,000 difference, invested over 20 years, becomes $3 million. Meanwhile, you made $2,000 and have nothing to show for it except streaming services you forgot about. You'll make decent money your entire life and retire broke because you never actually built a gap between income and expenses. The smart move: go through every subscription right now. Cancel everything you haven't used in 30 days. Every service you don't actively watch, listen to, or use gone. Then commit to this: every raise goes into investment accounts, not into new spending. That discipline separates the wealthy from everyone else. Thing 6, trendy consumer products with artificial scarcity. The myth: limited edition, exclusive drop. Everyone wants it. Better buy now. The reality: artificial scarcity is marketing. Real scarcity comes from physics and capacity. Everything else is engineered demand designed to trigger your fear of missing out. You know who buys limited edition sneakers at $300 on resale? People who have confused consumption with identity. The person who bought them at retail for $120 and sold them for $300 did the math. They're not still wearing them. They're extracting value from emotional buyers. This extends beyond sneakers. It's designer bags. It's collectibles. It's anything marketed as exclusive or limited. None of it builds wealth. All of it transfers wealth from you to manufacturers and resellers who understand psychology better than you do. The consequence: you buy a limited product because it feels special. It doesn't make you special. It makes you poorer. 5 years later, you look at your closet and you spent thousands on things nobody remembers existed. The smart move: buy things that do something, not things that signal something. Shoes that work, clothes that last, tools that function. Everything else is a tax on your stupidity. Thing 7. Financial products designed to confuse you. The myth: my advisor suggested this. It's a safe investment. It has a good history. The reality: if you don't understand what you own, you don't own it. Someone else owns it, and they're collecting fees while you collect risk. Here's what's happening in 2026. Complexity is exploding. Structured notes, wrapped products, leveraged ETFs, cryptocurrency derivatives. All of it designed to look sophisticated while transferring risk to people who don't have institutional knowledge. Your advisor isn't your advisor. They're a salesman with a license. They make more money when you buy complicated products. The fee structure incentivizes confusion, not clarity. Smart money buys simple things they understand: index funds, dividend stocks, bonds, maybe real estate. That's it. Boring, predictable, transparent. The consequence: you buy a structured product because your advisor said it was safe. It has 3 pages of documentation you didn't read. In 2027, markets shift and your principal is exposed. Now you understand the risk for the first time, but it's too late. The smart move: if you can't explain an investment in one sentence, you don't understand it. Don't buy it. Period. Your portfolio should be boring enough to explain at dinner. If it requires a PowerPoint presentation, it's designed to separate you from your money. Here's what this all means for 2026. The economy is shifting. Rates are going to move. Consumer behavior is changing. The margin for mistakes is narrowing. Most people will spend 2026 making all 7 of these mistakes. They'll buy the depreciating asset. They'll stretch for the house they can't afford. They'll chase yield in the wrong place. They'll chase crypto because they're afraid of missing out. They'll subscribe to 12 services they don't use. They'll buy something limited edition because they want to feel special. They'll buy something they don't understand because someone in a suit told them to. And in 2027, they'll wonder why they're behind. Here's what actually builds wealth. Discipline over emotion, patience over action, boring over exciting, simple over complex. In 2026, while everyone else is buying, the person building real wealth is sitting still. They're cutting expenses. They're preserving capital. They're waiting for the moment when fear is highest and prices are lowest. That's when they move. You can do this the hard way by making all the mistakes and fixing them in 2027 when it's expensive. Or you can do this the smart way by recognizing the pattern now and staying disciplined for the next 12 months. The choice is obvious. The execution is the problem. Don't be the person who watches this, agrees with everything, and buys an EV next month anyway because your emotion overrides your logic. That's everyone. Be the person who internalizes this, makes no major purchases in 2026 unless absolutely necessary, and keeps dry powder ready. That's rare. Money doesn't care what you believe.